Man, shoes are just great. You can wear them. Anyways, you guys probably don't know this, but I'm somewhat of a sneakerhead. I've been into sneakers for about, let me give you a ballpark figure, about several years. Jokes aside, I got into sneakers about 7 years ago when I was in 7th grade. This was also around the time I got into playing basketball instead of just watching it like a casual. I remember my first sneaker experience was when I was playing basketball during lunch, and this one kid I was playing with started freaking out when someone stepped on his shoes. The kid told him that his shoes were Jordan 7s and that they were OGs, to which the other kid replied, "Bruh, then why are you playing with them outside, bruh?" And after all these years, I still think that kid had a point. Anyways, I was curious as to why he was so concerned with his sneakers, so I googled Jordan 7s and I saw the ones he had. After looking at the shoe, I realized if there's a Jordan 7, then there's probably a Jordan 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4.
Wait, don't tell me, dude, you won't believe what happened.
I started looking at all these models and immediately became hooked. I wanted literally every shoe, and I mean every shoe. I was even hooked on the ugly models like the 16s. Not only did I want them because they looked cool, but I also wanted to flex on everyone at my school and make them all jelly. Unfortunately for me, I had absolutely no money as I was a 13-year-old 7th grader with parents who thought paying $100 for shoes was crazy. At around this time, most Jordan retros were about $200, so you already know I wasn't going to get my grubby little mitts on any of these shoes soon. I mainly looked at pages like Flight Club when I was looking at shoes because it was literally the first page that would pop up when I googled sneakers. Pages like StockX didn't exist back in good old 2013. And since I had no money, like I said earlier, my parents had to buy shoes for me. And they weren't buying me shoes off the internet because at around this time they had barely gotten a computer, so they didn't know how to shop online yet. And to be fair, I didn't know either, and neither did anyone else. So the only place I would go to buy shoes was, wait for it, the Nike outlet. No, don't get me wrong, I loved going to the Nike outlet, and I still do. Anytime I'm surrounded by shoes, I'm a happy camper. But, and there was always a budget. And that budget was usually around $50. And with $50, you can find incredible gems sometimes in the Nike outlets. But my Nike outlet was, and still is, dry as a bone. It pretty much always had the regular shoes that most Nike outlets have. I look around and there's never a shoe that I look at and say, wow, what are these doing here? Even if there was such a shoe, I'm pretty sure $50 wouldn't even be close to covering it. $50 could get you pretty much the most basic of what Nike had to offer. I'm talking about those Nike models with little to no tech, bad materials, kinda ugly looking. I'm talking about shoes that your middle school classmates and their mothers would roast you for wearing. Now luckily for middle school me, I didn't experience any roasting because I know how to style my shoes, so my classmates didn't have any choice but to respect me. I was also 6 feet tall in middle school, by the way, so if I did experience any roasting, I could easily fold their ass. After 3 years of wearing bland shoes in middle school, I finally made the transition to high school, and that's when I got my first pair of Air Jordans. But these Air Jordans weren't what I thought they were. You see, when it comes to Jordan shoes, there's the numbered Jordans, which are the flagship models, which are the ones that are retroed every day, which are the ones Michael Jordan wore. And then there's all the other models that consist of performance shoes and casual/lifestyle shoes. And the shoe I had was pretty much a hybrid of all three of those. The shoe I had was called the Jordan True Flight. And for all of you that don't know, this is a shoe that is well known within the sneaker community, but for all the wrong reasons. It's notorious because it's basically a crappy copy of another more famous Jordan model, the Air Jordan 7. And I remember every student and their mothers were wearing these shoes when I was in middle school. And since I had never seen most Jordans in person, I thought they were all wearing Jordan 7s. So fast forward to the day before my first day of high school, I was at Foot Locker buying new shoes. I was there to buy this pair of Jordan basketball shoes called the Superfly 3 because I'd seen them online for $60, but when I got there they were now $80, so I had to look for something completely different. And that's when I saw a shoe that I'd never thought I'd see. An Air Jordan 7 with a price tag of, get this, $70.00. As soon as I laid my eyes on it, I turned into freaking Usain Bolt and immediately sprinted to the wall and grabbed them off the shelf. But when I looked at the shoe, I realized something that still haunts me to this very day. Right above where that shoe was sitting was another shoe that looked similar to this one, but this shoe was priced at $190, which was the regular price for most Jordan Retros. I grasped both shoes and started comparing and contrasting. At this point, all of my excitement came to a screeching halt as I realized this shoe was a fraud. I didn't know what the name of this shoe was at the time, but all I knew was that it wasn't a Jordan 7. But I bought it anyway because I thought they looked cool. I mean, look at them. They're basically the same. Don't you agree? I took those shoes to the front, got them in a size 13. I looked at the box and it said Jordan True Flight. And I wore those shoes for about 5 months until I got an actual pair of Air Jordan 7s on Christmas of 2015. Yeah, a Jordan 7. It's like this shoe was destined to be with me. And then on my 15th birthday in February of 2016, I got a pair of Jordan 4s. That was also the day the Broncos won the Super Bowl, just in case you guys were curious. And over the next 3 years, I got shoes here and there, but it wasn't until my senior year of high school where I got a good paying job that allowed me to buy shoes like they were groceries. No, I wasn't spending all my paychecks on shoes because I'm a responsible adult. But I was buying them, here and there if I saw a really nice shoe I liked. And ever since I got that job, I haven't bought any Jordans because they're too damn expensive and they're not worth the price.